Bungie's new extraction shooter Marathon has been revealed. Today we have more information about the game and how it's going to work thanks to an article on Bungie.net and a brand new vidoc from Bungie themselves. Gameplay mechanics like oxygen and prime artifacts, alien PvE combatants and loot, and cinematic ways the world will evolve over time thanks to player interaction and discovery. Thanks for tuning in everybody, timestamps will be down below, let's jump right in. Bungie's Marathon trilogy was released back in the 90s, an early hallway shooter with 3 installments. Those games were linear and had single-player campaigns, but this time around Bungie's taking a brand new take on the Marathon franchise with an extraction looter shooter. They say, "We obviously want to honor the past games, especially the mythology, story, and themes of the world. At the same time, our vision for this game is something new. It's not a direct sequel to the originals, but something that certainly belongs in the same universe and that feels like a Bungie game." One of the big focal points discussed in both the vidoc and article was player-based storytelling. This is a PvP game, but the world you play in will evolve over time thanks to player unlocks and things they find in the game, like alien keys for example. With Marathon, one of the areas that is a big focus for us is our player-based storytelling. The original Marathon games revealed story moments through terminals, all in text. But now we have so many more ways to immerse players in this world, both in and out of game. Marathon is designed at the start as a PvP-focused game and won't have a single-player campaign. We're building a world full of persistent, evolving zones where players create their own journey in every run they take. That might mean an unforgettable firefight against another crew vying for the same loot, or a last-second extraction while beset on all sides. One of the examples they give is this. Imagine a crew discovering a previously undiscovered artifact that, when activated, opens a new area of the map for all players to explore. In essence, this is a game where the actions of players can have ramifications for the world and players with each unfolding season. That also confirms another thing, the game is going to have seasons. PvP is a main feature, but there's also going to be PvE or enemy AI you'll fight along the way too. A rich, immersive world that will have ample opportunities for exploration and conflict, both against other players and AI-controlled enemies. Combine that with the different objectives and motivations that players will have for each run, as well as the narrative doors that can be unlocked as players discover things and accomplish tasks.
You're going to drop into persistent zones. You never know what you're going to find or who you're going to face. You're trying to get out alive, and so is everyone else. Imagine going into this basement of one of the colony buildings and it's like flooded with water, murkiness. It's too quiet. Just the sloshing of your footsteps. Around the corner, you see some beam of green light. And you're like, oh no, what is that? Imagine if one crew happens to find an alien key. They place it on this altar, and then they get memorialized for opening up the next zone. And they have to go and figure out how to then unlock that for everybody else.
Marathon is not just about extracting, there's multiple ways you can win. Some of the basic ones will require you to get out of there alive, but they think there's an opportunity for players to still have fun, to be fulfilled and rewarded, even if they don't make it to an exfil. Because this is a PvP game, Bungie is prioritizing security and focus on vigorous anti-cheat measures, as well as dedicated servers, global data centers, active community conversation, and feedback. Ultimately, they want to ensure that the competitive experience in Marathon is fair and fun for every player.
And so from the ground up, the integrity of the experience has been absolutely critical. And it was non-negotiable that Bungie was going to be investing in dedicated servers for Marathon, disconnect recovery, and fog of war. Like without those elements, none of this matters.
So we actually have a dedicated team in charge of security and making sure the game is as fair as possible.
What about loot? Now we don't get too much, but we do get some hints from the vidoc and article. Out there in the wilds of Tau Ceti, you can find artifacts, implants, and weapons. In the game, you play as a runner, a cyberpunk-style sci-fi warrior that will have many customization options like those implants. We can also see in the vidoc some attachments on weapons and different implants in some of the concept art. One of the loot descriptions was called an artifact. You can find artifacts out there that look like this, and each artifact you find can be combined to create bigger artifacts called prime artifacts. So the game is about collecting and looting and extracting, but what about losing your items? Will that be an issue? Bungie wants the game to have a sense of danger and tension. They want it to be dangerous and thrilling, and to always have the sense that this run is going to be unforgettable. At the same time, it's true that the traditional extraction genre tropes can be frustrating, especially for new players. One of the ways Bungie is addressing this is by making the core fantasies of survival and extraction fun, clear, and easy to understand. They want players to quickly understand fundamental mechanics like healing or oxygen, or how to organize your gear. Basically, if they get those things down easy, which they want you to do, want us all players to learn, there's much more room for tactical thinking and creativity. But that's basically all we have for this recap. I've been playing some of the clips and still images from the vidoc, and we're going to wrap up this video with some more of those images, some locations and secrets you may have missed. If you'd like to stay up to date on Marathon and everything involving Bungie games, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.